Jai Gurudev, welcome to your Saheli chat show. My name is Jas Saikon, and with me as always I have Gurdial and Dav. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Firstly, we're absolutely buzzing, aren't we?
Oh yes. Yeah.
About our event. We had our Your Saheli 6th birthday event at the weekend. It was on Sunday, and we had 120 ladies there, full house, and the vibes and the energies were amazing, weren't they?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it was something that we're giving back. We're doing seva and we're doing this, right? And the event was, the theme was just be you, take your mask off, enjoy the day, rise up, wise up and show up. How did you find it, Dav?
मैं तो कहनी सी सारे खुश हो के तुसी मस्ती करो, खूब नचो गाओ, अपनी स्टोरी दसो, एंड नो प्रेशर, कोई फिक्र नहीं, किसी ने कुछ नहीं कहना, अपनी सच्चाई बोलो, हो टू सपोर्ट यू. एंड सच्ची लेडी सारे ने ना दिल खोल के ना अपनी दिल की बात दसी, अपनी सारी दुख भरी स्टोरियां दसियां, पर सारे ने इन्ना सपोर्ट सी, इन्ना प्यार सी ना ओदे माहौल ओदे अपने सारे फंक्शन विच, एंड सच्ची लेडीज बहुत खुश से गया.
Gurdial, thought feedback.
It was a very unique event, and the support and the vibes, and it did feel like a wedding. The amount of people that came, and everybody was happy to be there. And obviously, it's a ticketed event, but even so, it was just so positive, and everybody talked about the times, how they've overcome or ਔਖਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਦਾਂ ਉਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ cost time ਤੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ. So we had some people who were there from health perspective as well. And we also had different like coaches, and so there was a very, very varied array of people.
Absolutely. So, and it was message is siga zindagi de vich highs to lows to on the yasarian de, but that doesn't mean it's going to be raining forever. That's why asi DJ ਵੀ ਲਿਆਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, even when you're going through hardships you feel this is it, I'm in a very dark place, ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਉੱਠਣਾ ਆ, but it was there because everything will change again, the sun will shine again. You've just got to stay positive. I know it's very hard when you've gone through trauma, but you've still, you know, life is like a book, isn't it? Koi chapters kinne happy, koi kinne sad, koi, you know, uncertainty, koi depressing chapters, but je aapa ਦੂਜਾ page turn ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੂੰਗੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਗਾਂ ਕੀ ਆ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. So that was the moral of the story, and it was such great feedback we've had. ਸਾਰੀ week on social media ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਰੌਲਾ ਪਿਆ, and ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪਿਆਰ
ਕਿੰਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ, ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਤੋਂ, ਇੰਡੀਆ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਭੇਜਿਆ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਬਾਰੇ. ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਲੇਡੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਨਾ, ਵੀ ਸੋ ਇੰਨੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ, not just UK but the whole world.
ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਹਜੇ ਹੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਉਹ ਸੱਚੀ ਰੱਬ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਇਆ. ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾ ਸਹੀ ਪੀਪਲ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਆਪਾਂ we get there all the way, isn't it?
ਆਪੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ.
Then ਵੀ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਖਰਾਬ ਸੀ, snow ਵੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਫਿਰ ਵੀ we had 100% work show up to the event,
and people were like, even to go to the toilet they didn't want to go ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੀ ਕੁਝ ਮਿਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਸਾਡਾ.
ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੰਚ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਟੋਕ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਟੋਇਲਟ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, I didn't want to miss anything because every word everybody spoke was so precious, and it was just ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਹੋਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ. And we just felt ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਸੱਚੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ opportunity ਦਿੱਤਾ ਨਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ we want to grab every moment, ਹੈ ਨਾ.
Exactly, ਸਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਆ ਉਹ, because you know I've been through my trauma, we've all had our own traumas, but we want to share them, and we want to create a movement ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਜਣਾ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਕੁਛ, it gives permission to the other person thinking ਹੈ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਛ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਐਨਰਜੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਹੈਵੀ ਆ, ਕਾਹਤੇ ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਤੇ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ. You know, that's because you're aligned with yourself and you're awakened.
ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਥਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਜਜਮੈਂਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਨ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸੋ there's lots of positives well it's all positive anyway
but ਵੀ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਤਾਂ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਪਰ ਇਸ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਰ ਇਹ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜੋ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਸੋਝੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਹੋਰ ਵਿਜ਼ਡਮ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਤੋਂ ਬਗੈਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ you know ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ ਗਰੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਇਵੋਲਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਦੀ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ you know ਇਵੋਲਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਵੀ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਦੱਸੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਐਂਡ ਕੁਆਇਟ ਅਦਰ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਸੀ ਦ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਬੈਠੇ ਰੋਣ ਵੀ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ because ਐਨੇ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਸਟੋਰੀ but then at the end everybody's story we show that they became even stronger wiser women for all ਦੂਸਰੀਆਂ ladies ਨੂੰ ਔਰਤਾਂ family ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ husband ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ help ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ in their position to help them in a such a way ਜੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਸੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ challenge ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ
inspire people
yes exactly
and it was to move forward with their life and not feel stuck
and it's just ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਫੀਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਹੈਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ and it's also looking after yourself isn't it it starts with you and also ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਜੀ ਆ so you know it's like looking after God's garden that's what we are when we look after ourselves and God has sent us here for a reason and even after your trauma you're still here you're breathing so there's a reason that you're still here
that's right Hanji and most apne ladies we hold a lot of guilt hold a lot of emotions of guilt and emotions of shame and because of that we can't speak up so I see you know like one of the ladies that was there and ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ she is saying that she goes ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੀ ਤੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੁਣਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਰੋਣਾ ਨਿਕਲ ਗਿਆ ਇੰਨਾ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਨਾ she goes ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਦੇਖ ਨਾ ਲਵੇ and I said to ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਰੋਲਾ is good for you because ਜੋ ਬੰਦੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਤੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਦਰਦ ਵੂੰਡ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਨਾ ਦੱਬੀ ਰੱਖੋ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ and I said ਤੈਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੇਰੀ ਹੀਲਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਇੰਨੀ you know powerful healing ਹੋਈ ਤੂੰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੱਬੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਰੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ ਸੀ ਅੰਦਰ it had to come out so these sort of places healing ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ environment
ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ I mean it's like ਆਪਾਂ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ weddings ਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ ਗੱਲ ਥੋੜਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ there was a young girl that said to me she goes you know when you go through trauma she goes ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ feel ਕਰਦੇ we don't belong anywhere and you lose communities and that is the whole purpose of why we set up your Saheli because I too felt I've lost community I've lost the people I was always with and you expect ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਆ ਪਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿਣਾ this is what you learn don't you in life and she said I felt like I'd come to a wedding and I was so welcomed there were no judgments and there was nobody saying oh my god you know she's a single woman she's got children ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੋਪ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੋਗੀ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ there was none of that and she's just got so much love from everybody so it's great to hear all this right so ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਨੱਠ-ਭੱਜ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ to look after yourself last few days ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਦੱਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ
ਸੱਚੀ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੇਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਬੋਡੀ ਬਸ ਕਰਦੀ you know because any feedbacks I know people contacting me and they wanted to share their personal you know stories and they're thinking the next time jada event hoye main bhi menu with chance hai main bhi kuch kehna chahte hain so I've been so busy with all these calls and people's stories and talking to them and family have been apne ghar wale even they're so happy with I'm buzzing they're all buzzing because we radiate hard whatever we're feeling onna nu asar penda hai so they're feeling the benefits from it
exactly
and
so and then did you rest it's great when we're doing that we're you know in high impact energy, and we're giving, and then when you've done it all, you need time for yourself as well, don't you?
That's
to
right.
replenish and
spa,
so I treated myself to a nice spa day, and thinking, I'm just celebrating. It's like a celebrating thing.
Yeah.
And all the ladies, they just wanted to talk about it. They want to talk about, I can resonate, I can feel that, I can understand, but actually, it's okay, it's all right. I used to really feel bad about it, but I don't feel bad about it anymore.
No. This is it. And then when you've done something like this, the main key is to look after yourself, take time out for you, so you can kind of replenish your spirit, and then you can serve again. It's just like filling that vessel up again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's, you've poured and poured, but then you need to look after yourself. And this is what we were saying, rise up, show up, wise up, know your worth, take that mask off, just be you for the day with like-minded people. It's just totally different spending a day with people like that. So we're really buzzing, and we just can't wait for the next one. We've got another one planned in January.
On the 23rd of January. We just need to let you know about the venue. So if you're interested and you feel like you want to get in touch with your Saheli, and then we can look at how it's all going to kind of pan out.
Definitely, and we'll give you the details. So
and that'll be in Sutton Coldfield.
That's where we're looking to do a new Saheli launch in the new year, and then we always have our International Women's Day event. So there'll be lots, and those that missed out, I know a few of you rang me the day after saying, we didn't see it. There will be more. Just look out on our page and you'll see it.
We had ladies there saying that, sade aake vi karo, sade town, kai kande da bhi karo, kade ethe karo. So enna interest hai na. What did the DJ waki kanda si?
Oh, you know what? Jiras had a DJ, right? I even said to him, do us a good deal and we'll book you going forward. And he said, I've enjoyed it so much. Forget the deal. Everybody needs this, and I've enjoyed it so much. I shall encourage my wife and my sisters and other family members to join you next time.
Oh, wow.
How great is that? And this is where I wish there was something like this for men, because they don't talk. Ladies, but one in 8 men suffer with their mental health because coming on to that, I did make a few notes actually about men, they don't even ever cry. Do they feel that they need to schedule a cry call? Because sometimes I think you do need to cry and you do need to let it out.
Definitely.
Everybody needs to let it out, right? Because jo bhi thode andar ya, it must come out, because koi thodi madad karo, koi thonu ko samjhauga, tusi galta karo, whereas the men go out, have a few drinks, and that's their way. But it's really important to talk.
Emotions, it's like you said, feeling is healing. Once you feel it, heal hunda. But I think it all starts from childhood, doesn't it? Because apne, society, whatever, I think it's all around the world, isn't it? You think, but the boys don't cry. Boys are strong who don't cry. It sort of program banaya hunda, so they sort of like, live that throughout their lives, because crying is a sign of weakness, but actually crying is a sign of strength. It takes a lot of courage to cry. And so men is automatically programmed, so automatic behavior.
You're the breadwinner, you can't run that. And also it's like, say, it's an emotion that needs to come out your body, it needs to be released.
But that can only happen if it's encouraged, or they feel that they can speak, because what we're doing is to do with the women, but equally it's the same for anybody, whether you're a child or an adult. You've got to be in an environment where you can express those emotions.
But actually, when I see a man cry, I mean, I don't know about you girls, but I actually find the men, I admire them. I actually find them more sort of charming, and I look up to them. I'm thinking, wow, I really feel so proud of you.
They're being real, they're being truthful.
Yes, and that makes women
authenticity
more connected with men.
Yeah, definitely. Because albeit they're like us, aren't they? They've got the same John as us, and when we get hurt, they get hurt as well. Whereas we release it, and that's probably why women live a lot longer, right? Because we do talk about these things. And from that, if we go to, I just think this 1 million minutes, that charity is so amazing.
Wow, I was looking at that as well.
I think that is so amazing. Everybody get involved, because aapa apne gharan ch Christmas aa rahi hai, aapa aram na baithe hain, nice and cozy, nice and warm. There's people out there, especially siane, jehde kalle baithe hai day in day out, and all they want, they could have lost somebody during COVID, or they could just be on their own day in day out. just somebody giving them a call and having a chat on a regular basis for a few minutes.
So how do people get in touch with that?
That's, you just got to have a look on the 1 Million Minutes charity. It's amazing, and it's been all about this, hasn't it? Like since yesterday. It's obviously only the 2nd of December today, but it is just take a little time out for the other person, show a little bit of kindness. Just sometimes all somebody wants is another person at the end of the phone to look forward to, a bit of connection. Somebody that'll just ask their hal chal, how are you doing, what you doing, you know, for Christmas, because remember, we're putting our lights up, our tree up, and we're all bling bling and, you know, all lit up, but there are some people in darkness, so we mustn't forget them, because they're also saying there's more and more homeless this year.
That's right.
So whatever seva you can do, you know, whether it's you know, in your own specific area, then it's really important that you do something, just not just for your own immediate family, but those who are less well off than we are, so that we're giving something back. And I think that's really, really important.
Exactly. And now I think it's important to just touch on a little bit about empowerment. What is empowerment to you, Gadyal? I'll put it to you first.
Okay, well, this is my baby.
Yes, I'll put it to you.
Being an empowerment and resilience coach. For me, empowerment is being able to get up and feel like, you know, you can really lead an authentic life without feeling that you're trapped within any kind of prison or walls, and you can feel that you can breathe and not feel like there's any heaviness around you, whether that's from yourself, whether it's from the people around you, and there's no restrictions. I mean, for me, it's living a life of freedom. And we all kind of put shackles on ourselves, because we kind of, even if it's our children or our partners, you know, we want to serve them all the time. But freedom is serving yourself as well, and doing it in a way that's going to make you happy, because if you do things that make you happy, which is empowering yourself, and that could be just going to college, it could be doing a new course, it could be learning something new, or just sitting watching Netflix for a whole evening and saying, you know what, the kitchen's closed today. You know, little things that are going to make you feel happy. So empowerment for me, it's such a big thing. I mean, I know I spoke about this at the event, but it's massive, and I just think, you know, it's about leading a life that you're happy with, without feeling the pressure of judgment, especially within our Asian culture, where if you're doing something, whether you've had your hair cut differently or you're wearing something a bit too snazzy and people can't cope with that, then it's all those judgments that go on, and you should be able to be who you are without feeling that other people are going to judge you.
So that's all you can do. Things. That's the most magnetic thing, isn't it? You being who you really are at the core, and it's like whatever's taking you away from that, it's not right for you. It's like one of the ladies actually said, she said, I have a really good friend, you know, but since I'm doing what I'm doing, it's empowerment stuff she's doing, but she said, I feel I'm lacking the support from this friend. So
but I think that comes from it can come from lots of different, it could be envy, it could be jealousy, it could be anything, but it could also be that person just isn't ready to make that change, and unfortunately sometimes the people who are closest to us are the people that resist our change more than anybody else.
They see it as a threat, don't they? You're growing, you're going to change. It's a threat, and it's whatever's going on inside of them is what's showing on the outside, isn't it?
And I think that's why it's important to surround yourself with people who are supportive of what you're doing, because otherwise these very same people, although they care about you and they like you, but they can be the people that are bringing you down and not allowing you to believe in whatever it is that you want to believe in, or the changes that you want to make.
They're too fearful to expand themselves, but the fear of seeing other people expanding, it's not too much for them to deal with, isn't it?
But it could be restrictions that they've got within their own family or their own mindset. So it's there is so much that could be happening.
And they can't handle it. You see, look, you're doing this and you're doing what they want to do, but they can't get to that. And this is what your coaching is about, isn't it?
And sometimes, you know, as much as like we all get on brilliantly and you know, we're all on the same kind of page, aren't we? And we all want to help each other and all those things, which is fantastic, but unfortunately not everybody's got that in their life, and you have to just try and help them, because a lot of the time it could just be the mindset and not believing that they can take that step.
Exactly. And I said to this girl, I said, don't let anyone disempower you, because that's what you want to do. You should do that, but don't stop. It's like me with your Saheli, 6 years, right? I had all sorts of people come. They weren't all the right people, but it's fine. They serve, you know, they served a purpose. They were there at certain events.
But then I think if people really, they're all supporting you, you know, 24/7, how are you actually going to learn your own inner strength? Well, how are you going to learn to say no?
It's all part of growth, isn't it?
So they're all having to behave exactly to help us to connect and with our inner strength and our inner sort of like change our programs and you know, so it all works out best.
So everybody that is in our life are there for a reason. You know, they may not definitely be the person that helps you, but they're also they're the people that make you realise that these people exist as well.
And they're right for you at that time when they were there, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be with you all the way, and it's fine.
You can say thank you to those people. Thank you, didn't help me, because if you did help me, I wasn't aware I was capable of this.
Exactly. The thing is, whatever adversities, whatever happens, I think the thing to remember is, don't think, why me, why is this happening to me? Remember, it's happening for you, to get you to where him up there wanted you to be. So you get to a stage where it's happening for you, and then you get to a stage where, like where we are, it's happening through us, and we're empowering other people, because, you know, we're sharing what's happened to us. We've learned how to overcome them,
and we're still overcoming.
We're still overcoming.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
It will take quite a few people to reject and abandon us, because for us that's the only way we can reinforce this new neurological pathway to learn to say no, and it's creating a whole new, you know, program in us, and it has to happen a few times.
You have to end up in that no woman's, no man's land.
So we're going to be disappointed a few times before we realize this is happening for our benefit, because we are learning. It's like strengthening a new muscle. The more it happens, the more we're strengthening a new muscle, but our muscle's inside our brain, and we're trying to rewire.
And I think it's part of your journey. If you decided to take something that's outside of your, and I think I should have talked about this right at the beginning, it's doing something different. It's coming out of your comfort zone, and when you're going to do something different, even if you have a different hairstyle, people are going to react in different ways. And if you're going to do something really big, then that's going to happen even bigger. But if you've decided to go along that journey, then just be prepared for whatever reaction, and just take it on board. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it's unfortunately and fortunately it's part of the journey that you've undertaken.
You've come out of your comfort zone, you've done what's true to yourself, and that's where the magic happens, really, doesn't it? To me, even the word empowerment is empower me, isn't it? So I just like the word, and there's nothing more powerful than seeing a young person, whether it's a man or a woman, you know, who's done well for themselves, and they're very strong-minded and just get on with what's right for them. And that's what we always say, you know, don't think about too much about giving your daughters the big fat weddings. Give her the big education. Make her who, you know, can stand on her own 2 feet. And girls these days are getting married later, and they are very financially secure and savvy as well. Because they're getting married later, they're not expecting anything off the other. So that's empowering.
It's independence, isn't it?
Because back in the day when we got married, we didn't have anything to our name, and we were like, I'm going to get married now, so this person will keep me happy. And that person was looking for you to make them happy. It doesn't work like that. When you're empowered enough to be who you're supposed to be and do what you want to do, and the other person's like that, look at the empowerment there.
And I think be prepared for the struggles, because even when you're becoming empowered, you're going to get resistance from your own immediate family, from your parents. But if you know that that is your true calling, whatever that is, you know, if you want to go on stage and you want to be actor, or you know, it's something different, fashion designer, something that isn't your bog standard doctor, dentist, or you know, lawyer. You know, you might want to do something completely different. Well, we're championing those kind of things, because you know, since coming to the UK as Asians, we find that our children are doing so many different things, and that's what we want to support, but not just the children, but ourselves as well.
And the higher the level of empowerment it is, only test it's like you want to go to like a college, only test. If you want to go to university, only test So it depends on what level of empowerment you are aiming for and you have a goal for. So you got to expect tests, because through those tests, it's only become wiser and we become more knowledgeable through those tests.
Exactly.
And the tests are going to be sometimes quite intense. Sometimes they might think, oh my God, and you feel like you've gone backwards for a little bit because you think, I can't do this, too much pressure, too much volatile, behavior from people. But then we become stronger and stronger and stronger through all of that.
Exactly, and talking about empowerment, look at our parents. They came from India with hardly any money in their pockets. They came to a country without being able to speak the language, and they didn't know where they were going to be staying. Look at that, how empowering is that? Because of them, we've got the lives that we've got today.
And there was a lot of racism. Massive
and they came
change.
because of labour opportunities in the UK. So they just came with that mindset, because of them, we have the lives we have today. We must never forget our roots, For me, even during my adversities, that's what got me through. I moved house from one town to another, and to somebody that could be a big deal. But when you got the right mindset, or you think of your parents and you think, without any money, without knowing anybody, without the language, why can't I just make a smooth move? And I did. So it's just how you kind of look at it.
Even on the event again, the youngsters, there were a lot of young girls as well.
It was lovely to see the young girls.
Our daughters were all there,
I know, they were so impressed, and they learned so much, didn't they? And I just realised whatever we're doing, upset not just the girls, the boys as well. Are not benefiting. So every work that we do, we strengthen ourselves, and it's all going to ripple effect, and it's good for the next generation.
And this is what we're saying about our parents. What they did is enabled us to do what we can do.
And I think the most important thing out of everything that's happening, the more we do this kind of things, we're showing that we want our children to have equality, and not to feel, whether it's the boy or the girl, to feel inferior to each other, and to go forward in life thinking that, whatever he can do or whatever she can do, I can do it too. Whether it's cooking in the kitchen or whatever it is, there should be nothing stopping you from being a pilot or whatever it is. Just because you've been born in whichever body, female or male, there should be nothing stopping you, and that is all about empowerment.
It is equal counterparts, aren't we? That's how we try to do it in our households. There's no farq between Kuri Munde and then the future generations. Make a stand when you have a baby girl. Give out the pink laddu, give out the pink chocolate, celebrate your daughters just like we celebrate our sons, because already you're giving them a great guest month because you're making a stand for them and celebrating their births, which never used to happen. But it's happening now, which is really great, because that's already a massive change.
But we still need to push it. I don't think
we do still need to push it more. There are certain families that are set in their ways, right? You have to work just as hard to produce a baby girl, right? So they make it like koini, but no. We celebrate the boys, but don't forget our daughters, because कुड़ियां सबसे ज़्यादा करदियां हैं. मुंडियां नालों भी है ना, अप्पा भी किसे दियां तियां हैं. Look how much we would, give our right on for our parents, right?
Absolutely,
And our daughters are the same with us. So,
but I think the new generation, when they're having their kids, they don't actually see the difference between boy and girl. So I think it is changing. Let's say another generation too, there will be no difference.
Definitely.
I think we would have treated our children the same, like girl and boy. But there are obviously families out there who still see the difference.
We had a little bit of pressure, like you need to have a son until you've had a son. It's like our parents, bechare darde hunde sige. They used to think, jinna char munda nahi hunda, kuri da basepa nahi hona, kuri bas jogi jadon munda ho gaya. It was their thinking, wasn't it? Although we didn't feel it at all.
They think jadi izzat milogi, respect milogi, acceptance milogi.
Na carry on hoga, and it's well done, and you feel a success. But when somebody's just got 3-4 daughters, they shouldn't feel any different or a failure as a woman, because that happens, right?
I think that's, we're coming away from that, because that's to do with the land in India.
Yes.
You know, where you want
that's
a son to continue the whole
topic.
line, but I don't think that's as much now. You know, for the people that are born over here, they're not thinking in that way.
No,
because there isn't, you know, any land as such.
No, Mundi are not interested. They're not going to go, and I think we are really changing from that. I think our generation will be the first generation to make a change to that, because we're born here, brought up here. We don't know anything about the Jamina, and are we ever going to go up there and stay there?
Yeah, I mean, I do, because I've still got family out there, my husband's family.
But would you go and live out there? Would you one day move back? I mean, have you ever...
For 2 weeks, maybe.
For 2 weeks, yeah. But you wouldn't permanently go, because we've got no intention now.
because they haven't got the cinema, they haven't got Nando's.
Whereas British Asagora, really, when it comes to having our rights here. But, you know, our parents had that fear as well. They kept it because they thought, at least we've got our houses there. So, you know, we understand everything, and we understand why they did what they did. Again, coming on to empowerment, I think it's always important to ask yourself positive, empowering questions.
Yeah.
You know, when you feel a little bit disempowered, is to just check in on yourself.
Yeah. So quickly, I can say a little bit about empowerment.
Go on.
My sort of.
Because thoughts create our feelings, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, empowerment is like when I don't feel triggered, and the outside circumstances do not affect my mood and my sense of well-being. So that's my sense of empowerment, and I don't want to be the slave of my programs that I've acquired from, you know, our childhood, from parents and environment. So if I can sort of you know, disempower the old, you know, programs, that's my empowerment, and I can create my own, you know, healthy programs and live on my sort of basis that's coming from, that's true, authentic me. Because at the moment, I'm just living out, you know, if I'm not aware of those old programs, I'm living out programs from my old programs, from my parents and environment. That's disempowering for me.
And it's repeated patterns, aren't they? That
so my empowerment is really that I do not be affected by the outer circumstances, that I can still stay in that state of peace and calm, no matter what chaos is going around me.
Yes.
I think it's brilliant what you've just said, but I think sometimes you can be going along and be completely aligned, but then something happens and you can fall straight back into the old pattern of doing things for everybody, and then, you know, over time you might get frustrated or this, that and the other, and you can't work out what it is, but it's because you've come away from that whole side of it.
But that's the beautiful thing about it, because when you get triggered and you feel, oh my God, I've gone back in my old pattern, but that's where we become like, do the self-mastery, you know, think, okay, I'm aware of this now, but I wasn't aware of it before. I just found myself feeling, you know, discord here. So that's telling me that's my program kicking in. All of a sudden, it's not me, it's not my true self, which is calm, peace, joy. If I'm feeling anything apart from that, that's my program kicked in. So it's just having the awareness of it. So if you've got the awareness, okay, so I'm feeling triggered now, I'm feeling uneasy and uncomfortable, and all these horrible, intense emotions are coming, that is telling you that's your program kicked in. So now you can work on it. Now you can actually say, you know what, I'm not going to react my normal automatic way. I'm actually going to deal with this situation in my own empowering way. So I'm actually going to allow myself, okay, this person's just made me feel I'm not good enough, or I'm useless, you know, and disrespected me. Okay, that is just a trigger, but really this person is just reminding me of something I'm holding on, a belief about myself that I'm not good enough, that I'm not unworthy of being respected. So that's what I believe about me, and that's been presented to me from the outer world. So it's a belief, so I'm believing about it because that's a belief. So, but then I get offended, you know, if I get offended, so as soon as I get offended, then I'm disempowered. So my empowerment is when I don't get offended, because the other person's just made me aware of the inappropriate what program I'm running. So that's empowerment.
It's so fascinating, isn't it? Because, like you said, it's all what's going on in there, what patterns are going on, and but not everybody knows how to change these patterns and habits, right? This is where you guys come in, and this is where you can help them, because that's where you really become aligned and awakened, and you know when something is triggering you, because half the time we don't even know. If we haven't done the work on ourselves, that's the best thing you can do for yourself, the investment in yourself, to do the work and be aligned with who you are And any triggers that you get, you'll know of them and where it's come from.
Yeah. So trigger is just like call it like a snake biting you. Like the bite's there, but the bite's not going to kill you.
No.
Bite ho gaya, okay, that somebody's triggered you. But the venom is us holding on to the suffering of it.
Yes.
That is damaging us.
Yes.
That's a disempowerment. Bite ta ho gaya. Bite doesn't kill you. Bite doesn't kill. A snake bite doesn't kill anyone, but the venom does.
Yes.
And the venom is us holding on to the story attached to it.
True and so powerful. It is, isn't it? Koi situation ho janda, o ta agla karke like the snake, o ta karke pade ho gaya.
That doesn't
But
kill you.
you're carrying it with you, the anger, the frustration, and then those repeated patterns. You're never going to heal.
And that is suffering, isn't it?
That heaviness, that's where it comes from.
So who's really damaging us? The other person जो कह के कुछ करके चल गया, or us.
We ourselves.
So we're damaging ourselves.
This is it. So you're worth it, right? So always, invest in yourself. Do the work that you feel you need to do, because there's a lot of help out there. I used to always say, "Jere gore coaches, they're not right for us." Definitely they're not, because they don't understand our society, culture, situation. Whereas jere apne coaches, because they live in the same life as you, and they can help you, and they get it straight away.
Yeah, there's something ancestral going on in a lineage as well, so that we're carrying that, hardwired thinking and behavior patterns. So that's why we can connect more.
Definitely. And from there, what comes nicely is, like we said, your thoughts create your feelings, and then your feelings create our actions. So just be mindful of the triggers, and if you need any help, there are companies out there. So you can come through your Saheli and we can put you in the right direction. I can give you Gudial and Dav's details. So from there we can go to confrontation. I'll ask you both, how do you handle confrontation? I don't mind which one wants to go first.
I'll let you go first.
Confrontation.
I wouldn't like to say I'm a confrontational person, but if somebody confronts me about a situation, whether it's in work or personally or anything, I personally will deal with it straight away. I'm not somebody that will allow that person just to obviously it depends on the situation, but I believe personally that I'd rather deal with it, and not in a, so there's something that I've learned as I've grown up about reaction and response. So reaction is where you just do it and it's just an emotional response. But respond is where you actually think about it and you take your time and you don't react. So basically you're coming from a better place in your own mind and heart. So you might ask the person, well, tell me what this is about, what's the underlying issue, what are you really feeling here? Because sometimes it can just be a hurtful comment that's just said off the cuff, or the one that you might get a lot is, oh, I was only joking. But usually when people are joking, there is something going on underneath. But
for them to have started that anyway.
And then to try and cover it up by saying, oh, I'm only joking. But usually there's something behind it. So if you want to say, well, what did you mean? Well, I'm just joking, but tell me, because that's whether it's upset me or it's made me feel a different way. I want to know.
I want to know why.
So then that person is then aware of either not saying that again, or they might say, well, actually, you did this or you did that. Well, tell me about it, so that I'm aware, and we can have a dialogue about it on an equal level. So for me, confrontation can be dealt, but personally, I like to deal with it straight away, because otherwise, that person's gone and you're just thinking about it. It's going round and round in your head, thinking, well, why did that person say that about me?
I just need to know now. Can we just get to the bottom of it, so I understand why you said it, what you think of me, and we can maybe sort it or maybe not, but I just need to know.
But also, I think, being the age that I am, I'm older now. If that person's happy to tell me, great. If they're not, that's great. And I can let it go. But maybe at a younger age, I wouldn't have been like that.
Absolutely.
I might have got angry or frustrated or decided I don't want to talk to them anymore. But now, through working with you as well, I find that you kind of think, well, that's their issue and not mine. Maybe they don't like who I am or what I come across as. But again, it's their issue. And love and light, off you go.
And nobody likes confrontation, do they? Sometimes, depending on what kind of confrontation, if it's like something on the road, it's best to just walk away, isn't it? You don't want to engage with any of that, because it can turn nasty. You hear stuff all the time, people lose their lives over it. So it's important to just bring it up, because confrontation happens all the time. and nobody likes it. I know he was actually a manager of ours, and he was a gay guy, and he was just walking from a bar, and a couple of guys started on them, and he is one that really doesn't like confrontation. So he tried to walk away, and while he was walking away, the guys came from behind and threw them in the canal. And just could have lost his life. He broke his jaw, but lucky for him, he was able to be better and come back to work, but it took him a good 6 months. But it just goes to show how dangerous confrontation can get.
And judgmental and prejudice.
All
all
absolutely.
those things.
And it's just like, you know, you've got to stay assertive, but you don't need to engage in anything too much. And like you said, age thing, at a certain age, I actually peacefully walk away from most confrontations. I think I don't want to engage. I don't want to give it my energy.
I think when I'm talking about confrontation, I'm talking about people that I know.
Yes,
but if it's somebody outside where you're in a bar and somebody's...
I ain't going to give you my time of the day, mate. No.
But you know, and they've had a drink as well.
This is what I mean.
And who knows what story they're
confrontation.
carrying. And they might just want somebody to punch or whatever. So it's always better to, you know, not be around that kind of
They might want to,
people.
you know, they might not be bothered about embarrassing themselves, but I am. You know, you walk away.
And there's probably somebody videoing it as well.
Go on. Sorry? Say that
And there's probably somebody videoing it as well.
Probably. Everyone's got a phone in their hand nowadays, haven't they?
Yeah, so mine's slightly different, but when I work with confrontation, because most of my clients, well, anyone really, work with why in avoidance of confrontation. That's what we work on. Why are you avoiding confrontation? Something working more on a subconscious level. And it's usually on something that's running very strong, like again, through another program, when we were young, when we thought that if we were a bad girl or a bad boy, if we spoke up or if we shouted or if we had a tantrum, then all of a sudden that we were seen as a not good girl, or, you know. So there we thought that to avoid mum and dad getting angry, or someone in the family or older sibling getting angry, or, you know, hitting you or something, I'm just going to avoid confrontation. This is something we learned as a young child. So we automatically, so we grow up. You know, behaving like that, we just think, oh, you know, I don't want to be a bad girl or a bad boy. I just want to be loved and liked by everyone. So I'm just going to avoid confrontation. But that really tells you you're not really being truly authentic, because sometimes we need to express that anger, because when we hold that anger and frustration in, again, another root cause of a disease. So we're not allowing to being ourselves authentic.
I love that.
So we're thinking, well, what would happen if I did actually confront them? Because it's how I really feel. I do feel angry about how they spoke, but why am I not saying anything? Because something inside you think, no, it's safe not to say anything. But if you say anything, they might talk about it, and then they might talk about someone else, and all of a sudden you're the bad girl again, the naughty bad girl.
But like you say, it depends what the situation is, because a lot of, you know, older ladies, they tend to, they're the sort of situations you don't really want to get involved in either, because you'd be going around the houses. It doesn't matter. You can't deal with that kind of stuff.
So
right?
there's places where you feel like, you know, this is futile and it's wasting your precious energy, you know. But where you feel like you actually are feeling really emotions there, but you're too scared to be honest about your emotion. I think I'm just going to avoid this because it's just going to cause drama. But you're not really being truthful then, and avoidance of confrontation sometimes can cause us damage again.
But it can also empower you.
There's like we said, there's two sides to any question, any situation.
That's right,
and it's
because
how you look at it.
I think sometimes, I mean, just continuing on from what you're saying, when people talk to you in a certain way, and you're just that quiet person who won't say anything, and then all of a sudden you've had enough and you just go off like a rocket. Well, that's over time, that's suppressed emotions, and it'll come out in the wrong way. Whereas if you deal with things as they come along, that's healthier for you.
And this is what people say, don't they? Oh, the job kitti on the koshkena, and then they say, "Jira job kitta hunda jado bolda fede." It's because they've been suppressing it, and they're not been dealing with it, and then they're going to explode.
And that does create depression or you know, anxieties and all these other things. So you know, if somebody does disrespect you or anything in a safe environment, it is okay to ask the question as to, you know, what are you thinking or feeling.
And also I really like to share this. This is really good. That so if we're in that place that we fear of speaking our truth because we fear of confrontation, we fear of being disliked and not loved by people that look close to us, we are sending out a signal, you know, vibe out there that I'm not lovable enough, I'm not truthful enough. So we find we attract people that are also not authentic and not lovable. And that's always going to mirror back to us. If we're not being truthful to ourselves, we're also going to attract people not being truthful to themselves. So we're never actually going to have a true harmonious relationship.
So true.
And also they're going to treat you like a mat. You know, you are going to be treated unfairly
and you become
kindly.
people pleasers.
And you've allowed it, you see, because you want to be validated, you want to be the good girl, you want everybody to like you, and you want people to be around you.
And you're just going to get used at the end of the day by every single person around you, because they'll say, oh, you know, go to that girl, she'll do it, or that boy, he'll do it. Because you're never ever going to actually say, actually no, enough is enough.
But we forget that actually, if you actually be courageous enough and be truthful in how you feel, so you actually, the truth that you say Satnam, the vibration of truth is the highest vibration. So when we're in that higher vibration, the people that we're fearing they're going to dislike us, actually we're going to start attracting people who are going to respect us more.
They're going to say,
that's what happens.
You know what? I was thinking that and feeling that, and she's actually said that.
And then you can become inspired by that person because you want to be somebody that's stronger physically, mentally, emotionally.
Who doesn't? It's like when a speaker comes and speaks on the stage, you know, we all have gone through a period where we was never, you know, we'd never had that opportunity or we'd never spoke, and we're like, wow, she really inspires me. I could never do that. I could never do that. But try it. And you will be able to do it. You can do it. It's like, set the intention. Look at you. I mean, you hadn't done it. I hadn't done it before.
Oh God.
Dav was just a natural, but it's just so empowering to see this. And at the end of the day, this is why we've set this platform to give women these opportunities that they fear about doing. Because you are the powerhouse. You can do anything you set your mind to, and when you're with the right people, they will encourage you and they'll get you there.
And can I just mention, when we talk about your Saheli, there is no age limit. You know, if you feel that, you know, obviously we're talking about adults 18 upwards, that you've got a story that you'd want to share and all those kind of things, then we feel it's really, really important that you're included, because, you know, we're not looking at any kind of, we're not looking at people at our age. You might be younger. I mean, our daughters went to the event and they felt, and they felt very, very inspired by, you know, all the stories that happened, and all the people that were there were older, but they just, it just became so emotive for them to think, well, these are the journeys that our parents have gone on and are still struggling with, and there are so many people out there. So, you know, anybody above the age of 18 who's got something.
Did you see that?
She really enjoyed it. So I encourage more aunties to see the please, because it'll be something totally different.
But she wants to tell her story as well, because she's in that, her daughter's our age, and the challenges that she went through, but how she had to go against the family, the society's requirements, and actually stood her ground, and how she supported her daughters. And it wasn't easy for her, so she wants to share her story.
And I love, and to me, you know, funnily enough, I wrote that down. Look, people in their, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, they're so empowering with what they had to deal with, what they had to go through. I love listening to them. That's why I go to the Leamington Gurdwara, sit with the auntie and listen to their stories.
But also, that's part of our history. And we're not going to get that from, well, I'm not, because my parents aren't here. But if they can bring that, then that's really, really so much.
Absolutely, and they love to tell you, and they love it, and they think, oh, like we're saying, you know, to make a woman feel empowered, give her the mic, give her the stage, and you know what? They
10 minutes only though.
10 minutes only, and they pour their heart out, and they feel so empowered. That's an amazing gift to give to somebody, right? Because before I set up Your Saheli, nobody was giving me their stage or their platform. And I thought, I've got to remember my why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the event, 2 ladies said, could we just have 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I said, the event is over, so now it's up to you to get people's attention, but
Yeah.
I'm going to give you what you've asked me.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2-3 minutes each.
Yeah.
So it's so empowering for them to actually be able to even ask you for that,
Yeah.
because they know we're like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what, the time never waits for anybody. It's like we can't wait, you know, we can't believe we're 6 years old, right, with your Saheli. Even like now, our 50 minutes are up, and time does not wait for anybody. So my final message to you will be, look after yourself, ask yourself empowering questions, and remember, you know, stay in control, you're in control, and then create. Your thoughts create your feelings, and then your feelings create your actions. So just be mindful. And a few words from Dav.
Just no matter what you've been through, what challenges you've been through, you know, they're all there to help us grow and become a better version of ourselves. So don't feel shame, don't feel guilt. Let all that go and start to feel a powerful person you are.
I just quickly wanted to say that every day we have challenges, and you know, they can be small, they can be medium, they can be really, really big, but in there somewhere there is a lesson. And if we do believe in, you know, the God or the universe and whatever you want to call it, just try and think, well, what is the lesson here? What is God trying to teach me here? What do I need to take from this situation? Can I do it peacefully and humbly and not cause any kind of offence to people, you know, while I'm going through this difficult time? But then you might need to, so thank you.
Brilliant, well said. Thank you so much. Keep watching us, and we'll be back very soon with another episode of Your Saheli. Jai Gurudev, and thank you to Kanshi TV.
Thank you.
to
Thank you,
Kanshi.
Kanshi TV.